Loose change.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Hello and welcome to Sports Minute on Wednesday night, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am hosting tonight, Big B. Ace is still kind of doing some family things, which is fine. Gives me a chance to host. I love being in the big chair. I'm joined tonight by Syrup Crispy Bacon. How you doing tonight, bud?
Not too bad. Hope everyone is, having a great evening and had a great 4th of July.
Crispy, is that a UFL jersey on you're wearing?
No, indoor football.
Oh, indoor football. All right, cool. All right, and then below me, his team just got done beating up on my Twins in 10 innings. So, Messer, how you doing, bud?
I'm good. I got the whole clean shaven look going on. I went bald, Mr. Clean. That's good.
All right, and then there with the big halo on his head, James Gonzalez. How you doing, bud?
Man, I'm good. I just got home from about a 13-hour day, quickly showered and got on here, so I'm just happy to be here, man.
Well, I'm glad you showered before you got on. That's real nice of you. So. But anyways, we're got a few topics I definitely want to get to. One I've been waiting all week to talk about, but first we're gonna quickly talk about Brittany Griner's situation over in Russia. Sounds like it's getting worse. A letter's been written. President Biden's called Griner's wife. I don't know. I'll let you guys start first. James, do you think the president should get involved? What do you think?
I really hope so. And today this kind of reminded me of the whole LiAngelo Ball situation. Remember in China,
Yep.
At the it was like preseason college basketball back in 2017 or 18, and
I forgot all about that. But now
him and two other teammates got caught stealing some type of expensive sunglasses in China. Yep. And it took a while for something to get done. The president at the time had to get involved. The father wanted help. So it kind of reminds me of this, where you're in a different country, so there's different guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to deal with that. The thing is it was just illegal vape cartridges and oil. And it's illegal over there, but here it's free to do almost whatever you want in any state in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping the president, the vice president gets involved here, but really takes action and gets the job done however they can. We know in the world stuff, with Russia doing what they're doing in the world, there's bigger fish to fry, but still, it gets to a point where the trial is going to come up. The wife has begged and pleaded to the government here in the U.S., but I hope that trial gets delayed so something can happen. Some miracle at the last second can get done. But we'll keep tabs on this. Again, I just feel like it's been since March, that this has gone on, and it's just gone on too long, honestly.
Yeah, it sure has. And welcome in John Elkhorn to the show. How you doing, John?
I'm freaking wonderful. I started a hashtag last night that there's only 2 others that did it, called hashtag Justice for Baker Mayfield, and it happened. So I'm
Well,
not taking any credit. I
we
did the
will.
tweet last. I did the tweet last night. I'm not. Obviously, like, Carolina's the best fit. I said that with Robbie Anderson. I'm not saying I take any credit, but I did tag the Browns and Baker Mayfield in the next morning that he got traded. So
Yeah, we
Baker, I
will.
expect a gift card, or maybe we can go grab a beer or something. Because, I mean, you're welcome.
Yeah, we will definitely touch on that trade. So, Master Round, what do you think of the whole Griner situation?
The Griner thing, I think
Yeah.
they need to get her out of there and bring her home. Even if, like James said, hopefully Biden gets involved and helps bring her home. She's been there since February, something like that.
Yeah.
So
It's been a while, yeah.
they need to get her home and get it resolved. I was watching today; they were talking about it on ESPN, and they were saying that in order for her to be released, she'd have to plead guilty or something like that.
Yep.
I think she did. I can't say that 100%, but
I just think we need to get her home, and this is why, personally, I would never travel overseas because you don't know the rules, you know the laws over there. They're different, like James said. They're different than they are here. So
Yeah.
I'm staying here in the good old USA where I know the laws. I'm not trying to go.
Exactly. And we got Isaiah and Ben both chimed in saying, "Hi guys, what's up?" So hi to you guys. Thanks for joining. John, what do you think of this whole Brittany Griner president getting involved over Russia issue?
I think it'd be a great idea to get the president involved. My only question is, what made her think it was a good idea to go over there during these situations? Like, that to me was really stupid because, and I'm not like saying she needs to be freed, I agree, but why would she go over there to Russia, especially with what's happening with Russia right now? That's the part that to me doesn't make any sense. And I know when I went to Canada after I went to finish 6th grade, that I know, hey, things are probably a little bit different. So let me just figure out what it is before I go. Because again, you don't know the rules, and I understand that she does need to come back, but also, I'm trying to understand here. Why did you go over there to Russia during these times? That to me is kind of a huge question mark. But yeah, and they need to get involved because at some point it's like, what do you? It's headed down the potential road. I don't know if anybody else said this. I just got off work. That it's very questionable because I wonder 2 or 3 or 4 weeks from now, are we going to be talking about that same thing? Or
I think we might have just lost John. So, Chris,
yeah,
what do you think?
it is unfortunate, and it is true. You don't know necessarily what the laws are in another country or in another location, but you also have to think about that. No matter what country, you kind of don't want to send over any drugs or something like that, whatever she had. So, I mean, it's unfortunate she's over there and she needs to get out. But I don't know. It's going to be tough with the involvement of the president.
Now, here, Isaiah brings up 2 of his rumor scenarios or what he believes. Like I said from day one, I feel Russia set her up with drugs to use her as a pawn for negotiations to try to lift sanctions off of them from Ukraine situation. Russia knew that she was there. She was also a big name, and they used her as a bargaining chip. It is a sad situation. I don't know. I haven't heard any drugs. I heard it's just cartridge and oils from that are illegal there. So my thing is one, I hope she gets home safe. Don't anybody get me wrong on that. To me, when they called for the president, yeah, I hope he gets involved. But the thing is would he get involved if it was just one of us, just a normal Joe, kind of person? That's
probably not.
Exactly.
Because you also got to remember, there was another guy. I don't want to say like where, but like he went to a certain place where most people shouldn't be going, and unfortunately, by the time the government got involved, it was too late. And so obviously I don't believe that would be the case here.
Yeah.
It just makes me wonder, like, with all of that's going on and regards to what you believe, something obviously, like I said, I know I said earlier that she shouldn't have gone to Russia. That was a stupid thing to do. With that being said, I think obviously we all agree she needs to
Yeah.
get home safe now. The question is that how long is that going to take? But hopefully it's pretty quick with that.
Yeah. And Isaiah also mentions, did she get caught the night the war started, was happening, or about to start? It was around that time, I believe,
Yeah.
without looking.
Yeah.
But I just don't want anybody to think I'm trying to be cold-hearted. But I hope she gets home safe. President, if he can do what he can to get in, I just, if this was an ordinary person, would he get involved, or would we be even hearing about the president getting involved? I don't know. But I hope he does get her back here, and hopefully she gets back to a normal lifestyle because I don't know if you guys heard today. Also, Minnesota Wild's rookie forward Kaprizov has supposedly fled the country due to some military issues. Reportedly, he bought some military ID when he was younger, and he tried to avoid doing military time. I just heard this a little bit ago, so I don't know the full story. Don't know if you guys heard it. But yeah, so right now, Wildstar, also from Russia, is also dealing with some accusations. So it's not looking good for these guys. And again, I hope Kirillov's safe. I hope his issues come about. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Brittany Griner thing because I think it's something that needs to be talked about and kind of bugged me a little bit. But again, I hope she gets back safe. And if Biden helps out, great. But anywho, let's talk about, since John brought it up in his intro. John, why don't you lead off with the next topic? Baker Mayfield got the new home.
The Browns, and I said this so many times. In my time watching football, to me, this has to be the biggest middle finger I have seen to a player. More importantly, a starting quarterback. Like I say, I don't know if I should take credit, but I did send out a tweet last night. Obviously, I got literally 8 followers, so that didn't mean anything. But maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's not. Maybe we're living in another Twilight Zone. But I think here, this is the end for Sam Darnold as a starter. Last year was supposed to be the season, supposedly, from what we believe, that this is a make it or break it year for him. You started off hot. You're showing your mobility, which is something you didn't really show in New York. Obviously, Adam Gase, who is a complete joke and a buffoon of a former coach, but now Sam Darnold is now a career backup. And Baker, this is the perfect, but also weird situation for him because you have Matt Rule who turned around Baylor, but yet this is a make or break year for him, like it was for Sam Darnold last year. Is he going to be on the hot seat? Like this is what your 4th season. You developed no playoff appearances. You went 5-11 the past 10 and 22 the past 2 seasons, and so it kind of just blows my mind. But I'm happy. I mean, you get Robbie Anderson. I mean, say what you say. We're always talking about like the Stephon Diggs and what Demaryius Thomas used to be and all these guys, Julio Jones, but we forget about guys like Robbie Anderson, who was an undrafted rookie free agent, who balled out in 2020 with Teddy Bridgewater, who had not the best year last year, but he came back. He's a great deep threat. And if Christian McCaffrey is healthy, I mean, despite what Isaiah says that the Panthers are winning the division, which no, you can't disrespect Tom Brady. I think this is a really good renovation for Baker that when he's fully healthy, can he be the guy? And I'm excited for him. And to Cleveland, screw you. You're the stupidest organization in sports right now for basketball and for football. And I'm not like you deserve every single loss next year, and I hope you lose by 45 or more because you have truly earned it. The GM, Barry, you are an absolute buffoon and a clown, and I'm calling for your job because you're a complete idiot. But I'm happy for Baker because now he has to prove it. Matt Rule has to prove it. And with those weapons per se, how can they produce next year? But my last part for the Browns, though, it's the most uncomfortable season I think they've had. Because there's always situations saying some say 6, some say 8. Is he going to be suspended next year? And some people say, according to the NFLPA, the owners, the coaches are held to a higher standard. And if they didn't get any suspension or issue or any fines or whatever, then that kind of begs the question: is what is Deshaun Watson's suspension going to be? Considering they're not held as much to a higher standard than it is to the head coaches and the owners. That being said, I don't know if he's guilty or not. I don't know the facts.
Yep.
But for the Browns, it sucks to be all. I mean, you deserve it. You freaking earned it. If no matter what happens, you're selling out $46 million for a starting quarterback, which is stupid in the first place. And that's it. I mean, it sucks for them. It makes my team much easier. Screw the Browns and screw the Cavs. Y'all are both really stupid organizations. You both are freaking idiots.
All right. So the details of the draft is Baker goes to the Panthers for a 2024 conditional draft pick, which I believe I saw was a 5th round pick, but I could be wrong on that.
It is a 5th round pick. You're right.
Okay. The Panthers will pay just under $5 million of Baker's salary, while the Browns will take 10.5 of that. So Baker also agrees to convert the remaining of his $18.8 million salary into incentive to facilitate the deal, which is a pending and physical. So James, what do you think of that big trade when you heard it?
Well, I think it was a trade that was just bound to happen, but it was it's kind of a last resort thing to me. We thought the trade was going to happen maybe before the draft, some other time early. But it's funny how both quarterbacks now competing for the Carolina job. They were both taken in the same draft in 2018. So, I know Baker was number 1. Sam Darnold was in the top 10 there.
Number 3.
He was number 2. I thought it was number 2.
Nope, number 3.
He was number 3 overall at the USC.
Right. Both have had their struggles. More Sam Darnold. It's going to be interesting, and it gets to a point where Carolina can do without both, honestly. You hope Baker Mayfield has something left in the tank, and then you hope for, if you're a Sam Darnold fan, I don't know if anybody is out there, but you hope that he gets pushed to, motivated to do well. Say, hey, someone's right behind you ready to take your job. And your job's been taken last year because you struggled. It's time for you to, step up and do well. And the pieces are there. You get a healthy McCaffrey for now. Again, like John mentioned, Robbie Anderson. You get a good defense there as well. This is put up or shut up time for everyone involved with the Panthers. I was thinking about it yesterday, honestly. Would Christian McCaffrey be a trade candidate before the deadline this season? And I'm wondering if you guys think so or not.
If he's healthy.
Yeah. I think them trading for Baker is the answer to that question. Because if Baker wins the job, you're not going to trade McCaffrey because those pieces together could potentially do something if he does win the job.
Yeah, I think right now the Panthers are all keyed on success if McCaffrey's healthy. Chris, what do you think?
I mean, we heard throughout the offseason that Baker Mayfield wanted out. He got his wish. Granted, it wasn't the timing he wanted.
Because of John.
Yeah.
Hey!
But right now over on Cleveland Brown's side, it's Jacoby Brissett's job to lose. Deshaun Watson is kind of the de facto starter, but you don't know what his situation is. You got another quarterback who was drafted in 2017. You don't know how he's going to be. And then you have Jacoby Brissett, which you kind of know how he is. playing in the NFL, I would kind of think you go with him, but it'll make week one interesting between Carolina and Cleveland.
Yep, it sure will. They're just stating that Mayfield wins the job. His first assignment will be against the Browns. So, mess around. What do you think?
I think it's great for Baker to finally get out of the bad situation he was stuck in with Cleveland. But at the same time, the Panthers also drafted a quarterback this year, Matt Corral, in the 3rd round. So, what does that say about him? Like they don't think they don't think he's ready. I mean, you have the quarterback of the future in the wings waiting there, and you go and trade for Baker. So,
You also got to remember this.
Go ahead, John.
You also got to remember they drafted Will Guerrero in the 3rd round in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, honestly, who knows? Again, who's Will? I know Will Guerrero is a funny name, but I mean, who knows at this point?
Yeah, when I saw the news, I wasn't shocked. I mean, they got off. I think the Panthers got probably the steal of the trade. I mean, you only have to trade a 5th round pick right now for Mayfield. I mean, granted, the Browns had no leverage in this at all because everybody knew he wanted.
Don't the Browns and the Panthers play in week 1 too?
Yep,
They do. And here's the thing: I think the Browns knew with the Deshaun Watson situation that, regardless of the outcome, that it's not going to be like it was with the Texans, where for the longest time, outside of settling the cases, they're not going to get multiple 1st round picks. Obviously, Baker has more playoff wins and all of that, but they weren't going to get that. They're getting a 5th round pick. Mm-hmm. Cleveland, Andrew Berry, you are the stupidest person in football right now. You're literally the Beavis and Butthead. You're literally the Dumb and Dumber of the NFL. You're literally, and I feel bad because I don't know. I don't know much about Stefanski, but I could be wrong. But I doubt that he really likes what's going on. He's probably in one of the worst situations. But if he signed off on it, he's an idiot too. I mean, how stupid do you have to be?
The thing is, but the thing is the Browns were in the lose-lose with the situation.
Exactly. You can't win.
You keep Mayfield there. You know he doesn't want to be there. So do you play him and hope he produces, and then you trade him later?
He would probably pull a Le'Veon Bell and sit out if they tried to play it, because I don't blame Baker. This is not Baker being a diva. This is literally Baker. I'm not excusing everything Baker hasn't done as a quarterback. But, I mean, Josh Allen has, 2 or 3 playoff wins? So, he's only 2 or 3 playoff wins away from potentially having the same amount as Josh Allen. So, obviously, I'm not comparing the 2 quarterbacks. But, I mean, you get a 5th round pick. I mean, this is literally, it's like Madden logic, but reversed.
Nope, I totally agree. I just, I just think the Browns had no choice but to finally just get what they could for him. I'm surprised no team offered that needed a quarterback offered more. I mean, that just tells you where teams are sitting at with the quarterback situation right now. Everybody likes their quarterback. I mean, there's a few teams. I mean, Seattle probably could have traded. So who knows? But Chrissy chimes in, "Hi guys," and then she says she was surprised to hear about the Baker trade. Hopefully, maybe he'll do well there. I think he'll do great as long as McCaffrey stays healthy. I mean, it gives him time.
I read a meme on Facebook that McCaffrey tore his ACL reading about the trade.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he pulled his ACL putting his phone out of his pocket. That's what happened.
So, I mean, right now, I know it's kind of early predictions, but, I mean, where does that put the Panthers in their division? I mean,
2nd.
Let's just talk the division right now because, you got Tampa Bay, you got the Saints, you got, Atlanta. Both teams are kind of rebuilding right now, and then you got Carolina. So, I mean, John, you kind of brought it up and already says Tampa's division to lose. So, I mean, where do you think that stacks up?
I think there's a lot of pressure on Carolina to not maintain, because they clearly maintained it, underperformed. But I think if you look at, obviously you said Tampa Bay, it's their division to lose. But since there is so much, there's obviously, I believe, more pressure on Matt Rule. Because remember, he got a big fat contract. His contract was bigger than Stephen A. Smith's hairline, which keeps disappearing like his cakes. But he's under more pressure than Baker Mayfield this year. So if he doesn't perform, Baker's like, okay, he's a free agent. He'll get potentially another chance like Jameis Winston did, who had a 30 for 30, not an ESPN special. But I think for Carolina, they're second. I'm sorry. Like, if anybody really thinks that Marcus Mariota is a starting quarterback, you need to be drug tested. This guy is slower than that snail in Monsters University. I mean, this guy is not a franchise quarterback. And if people are saying, oh, he's playing better than the rookie quarterback, well, I freaking hope so. He was the second overall pick, you dunderhead. And then you have the Saints. Jameis Winston, seriously? I mean, I'm sorry, he's a good guy, but he's not a franchise quarterback. Literally, Blockbuster has more money than the Saints right now. And so I just think with their issues with, you don't know what's going to happen with Michael Thomas. Is he going to be there long? Alvin Kamara, is he going to be suspended this year with what happened earlier this offseason? So I think with the injuries, even if Robbie Anderson's 100% healthy and McCaffrey's 50-50, that could still be interesting because remember their backup had some decent. He didn't put up the most sexy numbers, but he would get a couple of plays here and there. So I think Carolina's second. I think the Saints are probably tied for third or fourth with the Falcons because it's the freaking Falcons. I mean, it's Marcus Mariota. If you think he's a quarterback, you clearly need to stop watching football.
All right, our buddy Tim, who's a co-host of mine on Morning Tailgate, along with Crispy Bacon and Mess Around, he says third. So, Mess Around, what do you think? Where do you think this puts Carolina?
It all depends on how well Baker adapts to that new offense he's got to learn and the new weapons and how him and his receivers sync up and get that chemistry going. And a lot of it depends on McCaffrey. You know, he's hurt all the time. So, if he can stay healthy, I can see them second place. If it all depends on McCaffrey and his health, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think McCaffrey stays healthy. I'm looking at second right now.
We also got to think about if Baker wins the job, what do you do with Darnold? You really think he's going to be?
I mean, he'd be a solid backup, like you said, John. I think he's going to learn that he's going to be a career backup. I think. So, James, what do you think? Where do you think this puts Carolina in their division?
Originally, I was going to say third place, definitely not last. I think the Falcons have a reservation for that. They got to find out where they're going to be QB-wise, with Ritter, the rookie, or Mariota to start.
Sorry.
The Saints, like John mentioned, all the teams, but the Saints have the biggest question marks out of everyone because of the issues with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. Both might not even play for the team this year. So I would put them at third, and then, that convinced me to put Carolina at second. Everything would have to go right for them to definitely make a playoff spot. McCaffrey would have to be healthy. Robbie Anderson would have to put up great numbers. Baker Mayfield would have to, come back from injury and be really good like he did 3 seasons ago, before the shoulder issues. But there's no doubt Tampa Bay, even without Gronk for a limited time, should be number one unless they just implode. But I think Carolina is second, but hopefully vying for one of those wildcard spots.
Yeah. And we know Father Time's undefeated all the time, but for some reason Tom Brady keeps beating them head on right now. So, Chris, where do you think Carolina finishes right now in their division right now?
I'm going to say third. I mean, right now, if you still had Sam Darnold or Cam Newton, you might put him fourth, but Baker's a little better quarterback.
Yep.
He'll win you some games.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And without looking at the schedule, that's right where I got him second.
You also have to think about this though. I think the Brady was going to go to Miami story affected the Saints offseason and the entire NFC because with Sean Payne was going to be the coach and co-owner with Brady being the quarterback. I think that really affected the Saints offseason, which changes kind of how some of the teams approached, and maybe that would have changed potentially. I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist of where Baker Mayfield would have gone.
Yeah, who all knows? But John, you nailed it right there. So we all in agreement. I don't think we need to talk much about where we think the Browns are going to be, but last place, I think we can all agree that they're probably right now looking at everybody in their division. So
Yeah.
anybody disagree?
Third, I would say third towards fourth because I think it's a really odd situation with Lamar Jackson
Okay.
because I've never seen this in my lifetime where literally the franchise is opening up their checkbook. Here's the bank. He's like, no, I don't want it, and it's like, excuse me, and so we don't know what he's gonna be, and how is Kenny Pickett gonna develop? That takes a while too, and
Nope.
so.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Obviously, I hope they go 0-17 because they deserve every single loss next year.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's touch a little bit on baseball here before we get to the topic I really want to discuss. We all got different teams here. Mess around. We haven't heard from you in a while. What's up with the White Sox? I know they just took an extra inning game from my Twins. So
We're up and down. It's like we get a guy back, we lose a guy. We got Jimenez back today. We lost Makata. So we can't stay healthy for the life of us. I know that's the story with a lot of teams around the league, so you can't really use that as an excuse. It is what it is. I mean, with the loss of spring training and all that starting late and hurt a lot of teams. So we were supposed to be World Series contenders, and now we're looking like a joke. So
yeah, no, I had them picked to make a deep run in the playoffs. James, how about your Angels? What do you got going on there?
They've fallen. On the weekend, they got swept.
I mean,
Yeah, they got swept in Houston, 8-1, 9-1, 4-2. They lost to Miami on Tuesday, 2-1. They somehow win 5-2 on the wings of Ohtani striking out 10. Marlins, they win 5-2, like I mentioned. So they get the split in Miami. They're still 38-45. That gets them a grand total of 16 games out of first place from Houston. And then in the wild card, 7 games out of the third spot. So they've already fallen to where they were last year by August or July. Or no, I think it was August of last year. So they they're a month ahead of schedule of their falling, and they've kind of got me away from them. Where I say, hey, I'll go if there's a giveaway, but if not, I'm staying away. I'm just. I can't stand losing, and like we mentioned pre-show, Big B.
Mm-hmm.
What would teams give up for a Mike Trout, for a Shohei Ohtani that has 1 year of a contract left, and 7 years of Trout? It's just a wonder now what's going to happen. Would the Angels say, hey, even in the market of Southern California, are we going to tear down the organization and then come back up one day? I don't think they can afford to do that. The lights are already off at the Big A. All the attention, of course, is in LA with the Dodgers, Padres in San Diego, and it's so quiet and it's so dark in Anaheim. I just wonder what's going to happen. I don't think they'll make those drastic moves, but I think they should as a franchise. I think they should move forward and just go young and start up again. They need to build their farm system up anyway. As dramatic as that sounds, they probably have to do it.
But James, one bright
side,
side,
blow it up, huh? Blow it up.
I'm saying blow it
James,
up.
One bright side though, if they played in the American League East, they'd be 21.5 games out of first. John, what's up with your Padres? I know you're kind of new to the baseball scene and took Padres on as your team. So what do you got going on there?
Well, we suck massive monkey balls. We lost to the Mariners 0-2. I mean, literally, it's I don't say I'm injured, but bro, Mariners, we lost July 4th was the game I want to forget for the rest of my life. I know we're second in the NL West right now, but 2-8, 2-6, you're struggling at bat. Obviously, pitching is an issue. So, we play the Giants tomorrow night, but It's been rough. It's very up and down. So honestly, I don't know what's next.
Chris, you're Rangers.
Yeah,
What's up with them?
keep losing. I think we lost the last 3 games in a row. Maybe 6 the last 7 we lost. We faced the Orioles the last 3 games, and
You guys lost to the Orioles?
you could.
Orioles are playing better though.
3
Oh,
times
jeez.
on last second, like game losing play.
that's
It seems like.
Yeah, they hit a batter for the Orioles to win.
Oh,
I remember
geez.
that in the 10th inning. I think
God.
it's like one of the worst ways you can win: a walk or you hit by pitch.
No kidding.
And they have identical record.
Yeah. They're right
That's
there.
sad.
Yeah. For me, the Twins are just struggling late innings. I wish I had time to look at everybody's, ERA past the 16 because I guarantee the Twins are probably leading the league in high ERA because they just can't hold a lead. So they're up and down, kind of like Dave said, a lot of teams are. I will throw out there, though, that the Twins pulled off the first ever in Major League history triple play that consisted of the center fielder and the third baseman.
Yeah.
First time. So
Wow.
thank you, Dave, and the White Sox.
Maybe they can finally get a championship. No, I'm scam. Sorry, I did.
No, we haven't had one since '91. So I mean, it'd be nice. So, all right, guys. So I know most of us watched the NBA. The draft happened last week, I believe it was. A lot of movement, a lot of trades being made. Dave, let's start with your Bulls. What did they do? Have they impressed you at all, or this offseason so far?
Well, so far they drafted DeLeon Terry, who I had no clue who the guy was, but apparently he's a good guard for Arizona, and
Oh yeah.
he's a good ball handler. He's a good facilitator. He's like a 3-and-D guy. So, and then we signed Andre Drummond and Gordon Dragic, and yeah, that's all we've done.
Did you sign Levine back too?
Yeah, Levine took the bag. He got the max. So the richest contract in Chicago Bulls history.
Which is kind of funny on who the Bulls had to say that. I mean,
Right.
contracts are so way different right now. Let's go with John because I know he loves to rant about his Cavs.
You freaking dumbass! You have 6 guards on your team. How stupid are you? Literally, and that's when you think you can't get any stupider. I'm watching the NBA draft for the first time in a while because I could care less because the Cavs are so stupid. And I look with the next pick, the Cavs select a guard. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? To me, and on top of this, your dumbass was like, oh, let's give Garland the max. He's going to be our number 1 guy. And you sign Ricky Rubio to a 3-year freaking deal. And to me, at that point, that is the nail in the coffin. Colin Sexton is gone. It's just a matter of who and when. Because there is no way. I've never seen a team so stupid in my lifetime watching basketball where you literally have 6 guards on your starting roster right now. You're dumber than the Knicks. You're literally about as dumb as the Browns, if not stupider. I know it's not a word, but I'm using it because the Browns or the Cavs are stupid. Honestly, there's no hope. They are the dumbest organization in basketball right now. I don't know how you go from here. I don't know how you develop a team with literally 6 guards on your roster. I mean, you're not going to match the offer the Mavericks gave for Colin Sexton. And I can't imagine. You're not going to give Colin Sexton the max. There's no way. How do you give Garland the max and Ricky Rubio a nearly $20 million deal? And then, hey, Colin Sexton, who's $230+ million? So it's just a matter of where he goes. But there'll be a rant this week because I'm divorcing Matt Cassidy. You're so stupid. You don't have 6 guards on your team. What are you? 6 guards?
Yeah.
You stupid.
All right, James. Not sure what your NBA team is, so let's hear it.
Well, the LA Clippers. And
that's right.
they didn't really have to make too many moves. They did go in the draft in round 2, 43rd overall. I have to learn this name or how to say it. Musa Diabate. He was a power forward from Michigan who made his mark in the tournament last year, if you recall. He was drafted again 43rd overall, so that was a good move. Ivak Zubac was a
Excuse me.
re-sign. Avica Zubac, excuse me. It's been a while since I've heard the name or whatever, but he signed back. Amir Coffey signed back, and then Nikolai Batum was signed back. They're all very important to the roster, especially to the bench there. And then Amir Coffey signed back, and then John Wall, out of nowhere. Of course, he was, I think, bought out by the Rockets, and he's able to sign wherever. So he signed a 2-year deal with the Clippers. I'm interested to see how fresh he is. He's 2 years older, of course, from the last time we've seen him play, fully, or 3 years maybe. So he gets a good option here with the Clippers to get some minutes off the bench. And I'm really interested to see how John Wall does because, like I said, he's been out for a while, and he still has a great offensive game. I would love to see his three-point shooting do well in this, NBA game that there is now. So looking forward to John Wall with the Clippers. And then Kawhi Leonard was cleared for full, practices, full strength from his injury. Of course, he missed all of last year. And I'm hoping that we get a whole season full of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, hopefully the injury bug doesn't, return and, they can do something very special.
Chris, how about your Mavericks?
Yeah, I mean, after, Brunson left during free agency, you kind of had somebody, you probably need a design to replace him. And I'm just looking at, the draft board. We didn't have a first-round pick, but we did for, the second round, and we picked a junior from Duke, small forward, Wendell Moore, with our 26th overall pick, so maybe he'll be helpful.
Yeah, no, so far, outside of the big trade that we'll talk about here shortly, the Wolves went out, made some deals, got some draft picks. They actually traded their 22nd pick in the deal for Gobert, which I will rant here in a second about. I think,
Don't pull your hair out.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think the Timberwolves kind of helped themselves a little bit. Isaiah's chiming in. He's happy that the Lakers picked up his man Crush Reeves to go along with Scottie Pippen Jr.
Wait, no. First of all, Austin Reeves is literally the Dollar General Slim Shady. Just call him that.
That's totally
There you go.
The Lakers ain't going nowhere. I mean, they could go out and get Durant, which everybody's thinking that's going to happen.
Oh my God, those personalities together.
Yeah. They're
I
not
would
going
pay to watch
anywhere.
that locker room.
So that's the thing. I mean, somebody posted. I saw a post about the Lakers starting 5 in the next couple of years. It could have O'Neal's son, Scottie Pippen Jr., LeBron James, Bryant, the center they just signed.
Bronny James.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Russell Westbrook.
And the caption was
Russell
LeBron
Westbrook.
finally got his team, and it's all the sons of the greats. Tim Hendrick, Austin Little Country Reeves. if you guys don't know, because
the big country.
Big Country was up in
Big Country.
Toronto. Big Country Reeves.
Vancouver
I can't think of his
Grizzlies.
first name. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. So let's get to the big trade that has happened instead of talking about all these rumored trades. I'll get your guys' opinion first. The Minnesota Timberwolves shockingly traded with the Utah Jazz and got Gobert. The Jazz will give Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Lanello Balmonto, the 22nd pick, which was Walker Kessler, Gerard Vanderbilt. They will get the 23rd, 25th, 27th, and 29th first-round picks, and the option to switch with the Wolves in 2026 first-round picks. So I will start with James. What do you think that trade, or what was your reaction to that trade when it happened?
Well, I think it shows that just maybe Donovan Mitchell might be on his way out of Utah as well. They just have to find the right deal for him now. With Rudy Gobert, you get what you get. You get the Defensive Player of the Year status. Maybe you'll have a great pick and roll situation with him and D'Angelo Russell. And then also Cat can spot out and shoot threes. If Russell's got it, he can either go to Gobert up top for the alley-oop, or you get Cat in the corner, or you kick it to another guy for a three. That could be all the cases. Mm-hmm. For Utah, first, I think Patrick Beverley, he'll probably get bought out of his contract. And who knows, he might end up back with the Minnesota Timberwolves. It seemed like he won some fans' hearts there. I think you could tell during that game against the Clippers, sadly, that playing game, that everybody really liked his enthusiasm. Oh, yeah. Everybody loved him wherever he went. And, we'll see what happens with that. Malik Beasley, he was a good piece, though, off of the bench, as well as Jared Vanderbilt. So that's going to hurt just a little with Minnesota. But you're going to have guys hopefully step up from the bench that will do well. Balmero is coming from the draft this year. He's supposed to be a good scorer for Utah. Walker Kessler is not really someone to look at yet. And those first-round picks that you mentioned, unprotected, 23,
the last one.
27, and then a top 5 finally in 29. Yep. Those might not be good picks, if the Timberwolves do well to be, thinking of that. But, something had to happen with Gobert leaving. And you knew it was going to be him first before Mitchell. Now the question is, do the Utah Jazz do the whole rebuild and say, hey, let's see what we can get for Donovan Mitchell, how many first-rounders we can get, how many young pieces, they can put around there. I just wonder if a team like Cleveland with all those guards and all those
no, screw you. Go eat a bag of dirty boogers.
You don't want Donovan Mitchell?
No, I don't. First of all, no, I know what you're doing, and I'm not going to fall for it. So
you don't want Donovan Mitchell.
All right. Dave, mess around. What do you take on the trade?
My first thought when I heard this trade is, oh my God, they got that much for Gobert. How much is Durant going to go for it?
Yeah.
Yep.
They got that much for him. Durant's got to be worth twice that. So even at Durant's age, they're going to get a huge deal for him. Yep. But for Minnesota, I think it's great. You got to, as already stated, Defensive Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. You get that pick and roll. You got Anthony Edwards, who's up and coming. He had a great year last year. So they got a good little squad going on. It's but in today's NBA, it's all about the three. And with the two bigs like that, I don't know. Does it work? Let's see.
Chris, what about you? What was your initial thoughts on the big Wolves trade?
I mean, good signing. It's going to help him. He was great in Utah. I know when, they're facing the Mavericks. I know he was really good. So it'll be a great addition.
Yeah. John?
And I think a lot of us could say this. Their championship window was for the past 3 to 4 years. And just like the 76ers, their championship window has passed. And I think they know that. Because you don't trade a defensive player like Rudy Gobert if you're not going to rebuild for that many picks. That many picks, you're doing kind of what the Thunder are doing. Get as many first-round picks as we can. Let's rebuild. Let's stink, and then we can see what happens from there. They're definitely rebuilding. I mean, it blows my mind now. Like, what is the recipe? First, it was build a super team. Now it's Giannis 1-21 against the Phoenix Suns, Bucks and 6. Haha, Isaiah. And then this year you have Golden State who won it. So now I kind of wonder, some of these teams, the West is really going to be shaken up. Once this team rebuilds and Colorado slowly is going to have to rebuild because I'm sorry, but they choked year after year. That West is really going to be shaken up for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. So here, my initial thought is, wow. We did what? I mean, we finally got an owner that wants to do something. And as Tim brought up, is this another Herschel Walker trade? I can guarantee that is probably 95% of what the Minnesota fans are thinking right now. What's going to happen? I mean, because we know when Vikings made that big trade with Dallas, we're still waiting on our Super Bowl rings. So, I mean, even with Golden State, I mean, Golden State's got some old Timberwolves on there that we passed up on too. So, for me, I mean, I'm glad they did it. To me, the first round picks right now don't mean jack because we don't know where they're going to be at. So the players they got rid of, I mean, yeah, I would have liked Beasley to stay. I would have liked Vanderbilt to stay. Both of them had good defensive presence. I know from listening to local radio that the Jazz were inquiring about McDaniels. The Wolves were not willing to trade him. They want him. So I think that's why I think if they would have thrown McDaniels in, we probably would have kept a couple of those picks. So I'm looking at a starting lineup right now is Gobert, Towns, McDaniels. You're probably looking at Anthony Edwards and Russell is probably my starting five. So with that being said, Wolves are all in. I mean, they won. They got to make the playoffs every year that Gobert is here. No doubt. They got to beat the Jazz every time that they play because if they don't, we're going to hear about it. Mm-hmm. They got to finish better than the Jazz every year or else we're going to hear about it. If the Jazz sniffs any close to the NBA Finals, the Wolves better be in the NBA Finals or we're going to hear about it. So, I mean, the Wolves got a lot riding on, these next 4 years or however long Gobert is under contract for, because you got Cat. I think he's got 3 years left. I think Anthony Edwards, he's going to be coming up on a max deal. Russell, he's the one you guys said. I mean, this might play into his factor. He loves that give and go. They're comparing to when he was with what was the team that he came from?
Golden State?
No, before that.
Nets.
The Nets.
Yeah, they're talking about how he just loved give and go with their big guys. So to me right now, I mean it's playoff every year. The Wolves don't make the playoffs. They better hope the Jazz don't make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They better win at least. They better be in the NBA Finals at least twice. They better win at least one of them in the next 4 years to make this a successful trade. And those picks ain't gonna matter because if the Jazz pull off a Dallas Cowboys and they get anywhere closer than the Wolves, we're going to hear about this being the Heist 2.0, But, like I said, I was shocked. I've been waiting. People have been asking me what I thought about it. I've been reading a lot of people on Facebook that are Timberwolves fans. A lot of them are upset that we gave up the picks. A lot of people are okay with giving up the picks. They thought we gave up too much. Even Isaiah texted me, goes, "You guys gave up way too much." It's like, how did we give up way too much? Just look at the trade today earlier. Murphy from Dallas to Atlanta. Not Dallas, the Spurs. Mm. It was 3 players and 4 first-round picks, so like I said, the Wolves are all in. It's playoff at minimum every year. So to even think the trade worked out. So but I've been waiting for that all week. I hope, basketball season kind of comes now. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing, and barring any big injuries, I mean, this team has to look. I mean, you get big injuries to Cat, Gobert, even Edwards, and they miss a chunk of time. You miss the playoffs. You got to play that into a factor. But, of course, fans will be like, oh, see, they shouldn't have did it. Look at all these injuries. Injuries are going to happen. So – anyways, so that's my thoughts on that trade. Been waiting all week to kind of talk to you guys about it, kind of get your guys' input on it. Have we missed anything? You guys want to throw something out there? We got a few more minutes left. I'm just looking at ESPN right now to see if there's anything out there. John,
I've been looking up Colin Sexton all day. Obviously, nothing. But
you're really on that, huh?
Well, because I just want to know where he's going to go. Like I've made my peace. Obviously, he didn't see my message on Twitter, but I've made my peace. I know he's going to go. But I'm curious where, because I think while he did have the injury last year, he just turned 23 in January, mind you, and if he continues to develop, he can play past 35 plus. I'm not saying he's gonna play like an elite level until 30 whatever, but he's only 23, so he still has a lot of basketball left to play. So
yeah, I think the Cavs will be dumb to let him walk. I mean,
well, but the thing, like, and I kind of agree, but it's also the thing where, what do you do? This is not like 2K or Madden where you can just readjust the positions. Like you can't have 6 guards. Like you're going to have to make other moves if you're going to re-sign them. But I don't, and I think we know this. You're not going to sign 2 players to a max contract, especially a super max contract. So I wonder how, I guess that plays into effect, because he was part of the success in Cleveland. So I just wonder where he goes, because you can't have 6 guards. How stupid are you?
Well, it is Cleveland. I mean,
You're kidding. Yes, it is Cleveland.
So, Dave, you got anything to add to anything, or you want to throw something out there to talk about?
No, there's not really much going on. I'm just waiting for that next domino to fall, see where Katie and Kyrie end up.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's what all basketball fans are waiting for now, just kind of see where they I don't know if you guys just saw the breaking news, really not breaking news, but the New York Liberty and Las Vegas Aces played to one of the highest scoring games in WNBA history, 116-107 as the Liberty took down the Aces. So,
wow.
Yeah, exactly. Chris, you got anything you want to toss out there?
Yeah, I know we don't talk about it much, and I'm still kind of learning, but 2022 hockey draft is tomorrow.
Oh wow! Didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
All right. So
Tomorrow
maybe we'll get some hockey guys on. I know the Barbers are big into hockey, so get them on next week and let them talk a little puck. So James, you got anything before we wrap it up?
Yeah, Big B, you mentioned the Twins need some bullpen help.
Yeah.
And I know this guy has had one of his worst seasons. But would you reacquire Hansel Robles, who the Twins traded last season, away for your bullpen? Would you bring him back for some help?
Honestly, I'm still waiting for my phone to ring to come out and throw for him. I mean, I right now, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I would take any relief help right now. I mean, to see what they could do. I mean, get the kid that find a kid like Rookie of the Year that can throw it. I mean, because they just right now cannot hold a lead. I mean, I know Collins probably laughing at the Twins for trading for
Taylor Rogers.
Yeah, trade for Taylor, or he traded them Taylor Rogers for the pitcher they sent to us. But I would take a lot of bullpen out. I mean, I'd look at the free agent market right now and see who's left. So, all right, guys. So let's wrap it up here. Final thoughts. We'll start with John.
Screw you, Cleveland. You are stupid, and I hope you lose every single game next year for the Cavs and for the Browns. I'm happy for Baker. I mean, it was just fun to be back on, and I'll have a rant video out later, probably something later this week or early next week about my divorce from the Cavs.
All right. Mess around, Dave. What you got going on?
I had a bedtime coming up here soon. I got a nap today, but I need my 20 hours of sleep like Koala Bear.
I actually got something that just dawned on my head because actually Messer was talking naps, and I know he likes to eat and stuff. 4th of July.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys are given 10 minutes. How many hot dogs could you guys eat, John?
None. I know from Texas, but I hate hot dogs.
Messer, how many hot dogs could you eat in 10 minutes? Bun and all.
Well, for me, the hot dog has to be burnt because I cannot eat it.
You cook the hot dog whatever way you like it.
It's got to be nice and burnt. I can probably eat 10, one a minute.
1 a minute.
Wow.
James.
Probably 5.
Crispy bacon. I mean, you
I'm
can rack
going-
it in bacon too if you want, Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, how many hot dogs are you eating in 10 minutes?
I'm going to say 6. Let's start out
Ooh.
low number.
All right.
Oh, more than Isaiah because he said 2, so I'll say 3.
I could eat 2. And
That's total cap
I mean,
right there. Cap.
honestly, for me, you give me 10 minutes, and like Dave said, I think I would have to have at least half of them would have to be burnt, like Dave said. But I could probably eat 1 a minute, maybe probably 8 to 10. I mean, maybe that's something we need to try out. One of these days.
We should do like
Isaiah
a food contest type of thing now, with like a merger with like Coast to Coast and
Ooh.
Ice, and just do something like that.
Let's
It didn't
do
have
it.
to be like hot
I know,
dogs, but it
I
should
know
be
we
like
kind of always teased that because Isaiah throws out when he was part of us, he was always throwing out weird foods that we should try. So, that being said, James, your final thoughts here. Since we got
Hey, thank you for having me on. I finally got home in time from work to be on this show, and it's a pleasure every time to see everyone.
All
Thank
right,
you.
crispy bacon.
Now, one day we should do like maybe a pre-4th of July kind of thing where each have a hot dog eating contest or something like that.
or maybe with something spicy food.
Oh, no, spicy, I'm out. I'll tell you right
Oh,
now. You
boo!
guys,
I can do
Whoa.
spicy all day.
my
I'm in on
stomach,
that.
my stomach, jalapeno is probably the hottest I can go, and I can barely stand that. My stomach.
Oh no,
is
my
very-
stomach can't handle it either. I nearly
No.
pooped 3 times at work,
I mean,
but
I
I
would-
still did it.
Trust me, I would try some jalapeno poppers or something, but outside anything hotter than that, I'm out.
I just ate some Carolina Reaper flavored cheese puffs.
No.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
I am not doing that. I am not no, Dave. I'm
Anybody-
not doing that. I am not getting surgery for a new butthole. I am not doing that.
Anybody try that Mountain Dew, that hot flavored Mountain Dew?
No.
Honestly,
Yeah, I tried it.
honestly, Big
What
B,
is it?
it
What's it
tasted
like,
like
Marcel?
It wasn't bad. It was just like drinking straight fire. Like, I don't know. It wasn't hot or anything, but it's just like drinking hot sauce, straight hot sauce.
Oh,
Oh,
I literally had it, and it tasted like a cherry 7-Up with a little bit of the hot Cheeto powder dust. That's it.
see now,
Oh.
John, you say it that way. I kind of want to try it now
yeah.
because I like cherry 7-Up and stuff. I mean, I could mind the after kick. if
Wait.
it's a little
Hold on,
spicy.
no. You just said you like cherry 7-Up. We need to have an intervention in the conversation afterwards, sir. No.
No, I mean, but if it's
Cherry
if it
7
tastes
Up
like,
good.
if it tastes like that, then yeah. But if it's tastes straight up like Doritos, somebody said it tasted like the hot Cheetos. I'm just like, I can't do it.
I don't like that though. Don't mess with my freaking soda. You mess with root beer, I'm gonna go up there and kick your butt.
Yeah, no doubt. So, before I say my final thought, Chris,
Yes.
what deal did C2C just strike? Where can they find our podcast at?
Yeah, we are on Amazon. You can, if you have a Fire Stick or a Fire TV, go on there and search Coast to Coast, Coastin' and number 2 Coast Entertainment Network, and all of our videos. And you can also watch us live on there too.
All right. So yeah, please check us out on Amazon, and so they don't think that they invested in us and was a waste. But for me, like I said, I wanted to rant a little bit about the Gobert trade, and with that being said, check us out all week. I know Between the Ropes is Sunday, On Deck Tuesday Night Mania on deck, Mess Around and Aces on Red Tape Files is Mondays, Bo and Joe Show on Wednesdays, Creeping It Real on Thursdays. So, and someday we'll pop up a morning tailgate show here when season gets closer. So, with that being said, this is Big B, Crispy Bacon, James, Mess Around, John for Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Check us next week for SportsMinute. Have a good day.